Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The rain lashed against the windows of the dog in the pond, creating a rhythmic drumming that mirrored the pounding in Maxine Minever's chest. She had been here before, heart racing, hands trembling, gut twisting in dread. But nothing could have prepared her for this. The entire village had turned up for the event, an impromptu celebration at the pub, and for once, Maxine had let herself believe in happiness. Dodger Savage had been her rock, her safe space, the one person who made her believe in fairy tales again. But fairy tales, she was about to learn, were nothing more than illusions. It had started as whispers, at first, just the gossip of the usual suspects in the village. Someone had seen Dodger sneaking out late at night. Someone else had spotted him locked in a hushed conversation with a mysterious woman by the river. Maxine had dismissed it all, laughed it off even. After all, she and Dodger were solid, weren't they? But as the weeks passed, the rumors thickened, grew claws, and dug their way into her mind. Until finally tonight, when Theresa McQueen had slipped up after one too many glasses of wine. Poor Sienna, she had slurred. Loving a man who belongs to another. Maxine had felt the room spin around her. "What did you say?" she had asked, voice barely above a whisper. Theresa's drunken eyes widened in panic, realizing her mistake. I didn't mean." But Maxine had already stormed out, her heart in her throat. And now, standing outside Dodger's flat, the cold air slicing through her coat, she could hardly breathe. A single thought pounded through her mind: he wouldn't betray me. Yet as she pressed her ear to the door, she heard voices, his voice. And another. Sienna. The name alone made her sick, a bitter taste forming in the back of her throat. She twisted the handle, her heart breaking before she even set eyes on them. The sight that met her felt like a dagger through her chest. Dodger stood in the center of the room, shirt half unbuttoned, eyes wide with shock. And across from him, Sienna, her expression frozen in guilt, her arms wrapped tightly around herself, as if she could disappear. Maxine. Dodger started, but the words stuck in his throat. Maxine let out a strangled laugh, one of disbelief rather than humor. "So it's true," she whispered. "All of it." Sienna swallowed hard. "Maxine, I don't," Maxine snapped, her hands balling into fists at her sides. "Don't you dare act like you care." Dodger ran a hand through his hair, stepping forward. "Please just let me explain." "Explain?" Maxine's voice cracked, the betrayal slicing through her. "What exactly do you think you can say that will make this okay?" Dodger hesitated. And in that moment, Maxine saw the truth written all over his face. This wasn't a mistake, she realized, her voice barely audible. This wasn't some drunken accident. "You love her." Silence. And that silence was louder than any confession could have been. A sob tore through Maxine as she backed away. "I trusted you," she whispered, her vision blurred with tears. "You made me believe in us." Dodger took a step closer, reaching for her, but she flinched away. "Don't." He looked devastated, but what right did he have to be? He had chosen this. He had chosen her. Sienna's voice was small. "I never meant for this to happen." Maxine turned to her, fury lighting her veins. "You always mean for things to happen, Sienna. That's who you are." She turned on her heel, her body trembling as she rushed for the door. But just before she could leave, Dodger called after her. "I never wanted to hurt you," he said, his voice desperate. Maxine paused, a fresh wave of agony rolling over her. "But you did," she said, turning back to him, her voice raw. "You didn't just hurt me, Dodger. You broke me." And with that, she was gone, stepping into the rain, letting it mix with the tears that wouldn't stop falling. The fairy tale was over, and all that remained were shattered illusions. Dodger returned to the village last month after a decade away, with the character looking into Grace and Rex's sinister schemes as part of a police investigation. He has also begun a relationship with Maxine, though he lied about the nature of his employment for their safety. Tuesdays, February 25. Episode began with Liberty spotting that Maxine had a new crush after noticing the twinkle in her eye. Though incorrectly assumed that it was Robbie, Maxine did confirm that she was indeed seeing somebody, noting that it was complicated. Maxine later met with Dodger, where she expressed her struggle regarding their long-distance relationship, admitting that she wasn't buying his stories regarding a construction job in France. As he exited the vehicle to take a phone call, Maxine seized her moment. After rummaging around in the glove compartment, she discovered that Dodger was carrying a passport with the name Ben Phillips in addition to a handgun, with a character demanding that he explain his situation. Dodger explained that he was now an undercover officer after escaping a life of crime during his time away from the village, adding that he's investigating a gang in the area. After being pressed on why he was chosen, Dodger admitted he needed information about Maxine's late father. Despite conceding that their initial meeting wasn't an accident, Dodger shared that he had fallen in love all over again. Though his romantic pledge was to no avail as Maxine stormed off having been lied to. A devastated Maxine met up with Liberty to inform her that she had ended things with Dodger, explaining the whole situation in the process. Unbeknownst to her, D.I. Banks, who is in on the operation, was nearby, with the corrupt officer immediately calling Grace. Grace hurried to Maxine and offered her a luxury handbag as a gift, all with the intention of discovering who she had been seeing. After Rex asked what her plan was, a ruthless Grace said that it was time to flesh out the mole in her operation. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Hollyoaks Update YouTube channel for more update news.